Welcome back to our Big Brother 23 rankings. It's just Meg and I today, although our grades include Dazed and Alex as well. Alex might join us at some point of this episode. We'll see. But how's it going, Meg?
It's going good. This was I don't know. I don't know how I felt about this week actually.
Yeah, it was okay, I guess. Only for Brent being so goddamn delusional.
Yeah. It's quite entertaining. Planning his own back door and all.
Yeah, stupid. Well, he's gone, so we'll see who's at the bottom this week. We shall start with the same bottom as last week at number 13, Brittany, with 1.9. She did go up a 0.6, but she's still in last place. And you went up on her at least a little bit. You had
I did. I think I put her up I was at a 0 last week and I put her up 0.5 this week. Just for the fact that she's survived 2 weeks on the block, and I do think that she's going to have a week or two off as people start, trying to point their targets elsewhere. So I think she'll make it a couple more weeks. So I did give her credit for that.
Yeah, I do think there's a slight possibility she goes up again this week, but I don't think Christian wants to do that. His team maybe not so much, but yeah, I also have her low. I just think it's because, is she really going to win this game?
No, it's very unlikely.
Yeah, I don't see it either. What are your thoughts on this cracked Jokers team as a whole?
The Jokers specifically, I mean, they're falling apart. Brittany's not doing anything. Derek F does nothing but lay in bed and console Brittany. And Ozza's so emotional in the way that she plays that I don't think that they're a very cohesive unit, the three of them.
Yeah, they are the only team that hasn't been getting on my nerves, so I can't lie. That's what I've been saying in my little updates, because they're so messy. At least they're entertaining. Some of these other teams get on my nerves.
Yeah.
The Kings and Queens specifically.
I mean, they're not as annoying as some of the other players, but I don't see them. I really had a lot higher hopes for Ozza, and I think that I wouldn't say she's doing badly. I just think she's playing too emotionally, but if she can kind of reel that back in, I think she can do better. I'm sure we'll talk about her when she comes up, but I think they will fare better once the teams are done and they don't feel this.
Yeah.
I just think that they feel like they have to stick together so much. Like the other teams are sticking together, but they're making alliances kind of outside of their groups. And besides the cookout, I mean, who's Brittany working with besides the Jokers?
True. Well, the fake girls alliance, I guess.
Right.
Well, number 12 is Whitney. She's at a 2.25. She's also in the same spot. She's down 1.25. We're recording this Friday night. She is the current target if she doesn't win veto, most likely.
Yeah, I mean, kind of saw that coming. I think with Christian being up there, it's between her and Hannah. So.
Yeah, for Whitney, for me, she's just been lost.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked about it on the updates, but the fact that she tried to throw Hannah under the bus a few days ago when Hannah was one of the only people trying to work with her was just not the greatest thing to do.
She just doesn't have a backing. She doesn't have a solid group or really anybody that's looking out for her. I mean, even her own team.
Yeah, do you think she just couldn't pivot from the goddamn slaughterhouse falling apart?
I don't think she tried to pivot.
I think her game is just very
boring.
She'll turn on boring, yeah, for sure. But also she'll just turn on people. That's like her only game. Just try and turn on people and follow the power.
It's not going to get her very far.
It's not.
Obviously.
Number 11 is Alyssa, a 4.0, also in the same spot. She's up again, though, a little bit, 0.2. She's been getting up and up a little more each week.
I put her down this week. solely for being in a showmance with Christian.
You think it's going to cost her sooner than later?
Absolutely, especially with them being the only showmance in the house. I think it puts an even bigger target on both of their backs than in previous seasons where we've seen there's a few couples or there's this really good pair of friends or a few people that are in a showmance. They're really the only ones that are attached at the hip that much.
Yeah, I mean, other people try and make Hannah and Derek X a showmance. And even if they did, I find it stupid that the showmance wants to target that possible showmance.
Yeah.
So yeah, not the smartest thing. I mean, I do feel like Alyssa has a better grasp on the game than I gave her credit for early on. But
she has to do something with that though. And I feel like her game isn't really going to blossom with Christian there because he's dominating all of her time.
But she's kind of tries to act as his brain.
But then I just feel like then that paints her as the bigger target out of the two of them. If the rest of the house can see that she's the smarter one of the two and that he's not going to make good decisions or do very well if she's not there. So let's kick her out instead of him.
But do you think she could find a way to like hide behind him and his comp wins?
I mean, comp wins. He's had what? 2?
He's had 3. I think. Well, if you count the very first one when he beat out the 3 other guys.
Yeah, when he got the captain. Yeah, so 3. I mean, maybe. I'm just not a fan of showmances, so.
Yeah, me either. And this is a boring one to say the least.
Yeah.
Number 10 is Derek Frazier with a 4.4, down 2 spots, down 0.6. Honestly, a little low for me. You guys had him lower than I did.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just feel like he's not going away anytime soon. And I feel like we think of him as a GOAT, but it's not necessarily. I think there's a couple of other possible GOATs bigger than him right now, honestly. He has to win something, though, but that's the question. Will he win something?
I mean, I agree that there's bigger goats than him, but I also just see the cookout kind of bringing him along because he's in the cookout, but what is he really doing for them? When we saw this week and at least the episodes with him like calling out Xavier for lying, possibly lying about his job, and he's not, I don't know if that's like the show he's trying to put on that he's not really close with them or if he's just completely naive.
I mean, yeah, I think he talks too much. I mean, I find him funny most of the time, but he does talk too much. But I mean, I still feel like his head is in the game now that Frenchie's gone for sure.
Yeah. I just want to see him do more, like win some more.
Yeah, he does need to win something. I don't know. It's gonna have to probably be a crapshoot.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe a memory comp. I can see him winning a memory comp.
They all were kind of bad at that the only memory, the one that we've seen with the true or false one last week. HOH.
Yeah, there was a lot of people throwing that though too.
Yeah, that's true.
Any other thoughts on Derek Frazier?
I feel like I would be in bed just as much as he is, so I'm not really going to judge him on it, but I do.
I mean, people come and talk to him in his bed a lot, so I mean, it's not always the worst thing.
Yeah, that's true. He's approachable. I feel like people at least like being around him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely walking the fine line of just being a ghost still.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9 is Azza with a 4.5, down 2 spots, down 1.3. She's down the most, but I think she has to survive this week. I think there's a shot that it could be her and Hannah on the block, and then the cookout has to choose who they keep. But I really do feel like if they survive this week, I feel like she's in a really good spot.
Yeah. I know, I agree. Do you feel like the cookout would choose her over Hannah? Is Hannah even really in the cookout?
See, that's the thing. She just barely learned the name a few days ago, and
yeah,
they still didn't.
Why was she left out for so long?
Well, I started with Tiffany talking about her age and her being messy. So that was the original idea why, because she does talk a lot. Hannah does talk a lot. So I think they just had their doubts about her talking too much in her age.
They formed so soon though that I think that was a drastic judgment.
Yeah, it was. They shouldn't have. I think Hannah's smart. They should have included her more. I mean, they're fighting very hard to save her this week. But I don't know if it's Hannah versus Ozza. I see it as Xavier and Derek F wanting to keep Ozza, and then maybe Tiffany and Kai wanting to keep Hannah.
Yeah, I can see that. And Hannah would have Derek X.
But Ozza has Brittany.
Yeah.
And Sarah Beth wants Hannah gone so badly.
Does she? I haven't really been watching a lot of the live feeds, to be honest. So
it would be close, but I don't know. It would probably come down to who Alyssa votes for, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I really do like Ozza. I think she's sweet, and I think people like her in the house as far as what I can see, but she is just too emotional. I'm still thrown off by the way she handled everything this week with asking Xavier to put her up on the block instead, and then approaching Tiffany to question her and Derek's like motives and strategy and the competition that she wasn't even a part of, and just because Brittany
she went too far with that. I don't think she's like super emotional every day though. I think that was the situation. She gets sucked into people's emotions for sure.
I really wanted to see, I guess, her and Tiffany like work a little bit better together.
Yeah, they don't always get along the best. They started to again, but we'll see if that lasts. What was I going to say about Asa? I feel like I'm glad she finally admitted that she's just trying to lay low. That has been her strategy. So at least that gives me some hope that she has been trying to lie low on purpose. Because I really feel like her game is like Survivor seasons 1 through 6. It's just make personal connections and hope you get to the end and have a vote. That's what I see from her so far.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if she survives this week, I think she can get pretty far. Do I think she's going to win? It's unlikely.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Any other thoughts on Asa? Number 8, Sarah Beth with a 4.6, down 1 spot, down 0.2. So not down too much, but still down. It's probably for me. I like to drag Sarah Beth because everybody overrates her.
I don't think I've changed my score on her because I'm still unsure about what it is that she's doing.
She's not doing anything well, I don't think. I feel like her game is just very... She doesn't know what she's doing. That's what it comes off to me. People think she's super smart. Maybe she is. But like if you're going to be the rat floater, but get ratted out, you're not doing a very good job because right. Kylan's already kind of ratting her out on certain things.
I just don't see her being like very strategic. And I know that she did come in and wanted to be a floater and that was her game plan, but I don't understand her.
I don't understand her either. And she just has all her eggs in this Kylan basket and he's basically just using her, I feel like.
Yeah, well, good for Kylan.
Yeah. And then today, I mean, it's the Royal Flush or whatever their fucking names are meeting. And she's pushing so hard for Hannah when a lot of people are trying to going the opposite direction. I just feel like that makes her stand out more. So like she's even just growing her target too, when that was the one thing she had going for her.
Yeah. I mean, does she have like a super close relationship with Hannah? I just feel like at this point, if you're going against the grain, it's got to be for somebody that you're super aligned with. It wouldn't just be because you like her, you know?
Yeah, well, she's going against Hannah because she thinks Hannah's coming after her. So yeah, it's good for her game. But when you're telling people, yeah, for my game, it's best if Hannah leaves and you're pushing so hard, I just feel like it might work on the stupid romance couple, but it's not going to work on everybody else, especially with the cookout being a thing.
Yeah. Well, then she should win HOH so that she can do what she wants to do.
Exactly. But she's always trying to throw things.
Then so her game's just like a fucking jumbled mess.
I know.
if you want to be a floater, that means you let everything happen around you and you don't involve yourself. So you're not really a floater. What is it that you're doing?
Exactly. I don't understand her game at all, which is why I just like to pile on her because everybody else overrates her, but I don't understand her game. I wanted to say something else, but I forgot. So we'll just have to leave it at that unless you have something else to say about Sarah Beth.
No.
All right, we will move on to Claire at number 7. She is up 3 spots. She's at a 4.8. 0.2 of Alex has arrived. Yo, yo, yo.
Nice
Hello.
of you to show up.
Sorry, I went to see The Green Knight in theaters, and it went a little late than I thought.
Well, we were just talking about Sarah Beth, which I feel like everybody overrates, and you're one of them. So can you explain why you think Sarah Beth?
Wait, what did you rate her?
Well, she gave him a message. Last week, he was trying to give her a high grade.
I gave Sarah Beth a 6 this time. Well, what did you give her?
I gave her a 6.
Yeah. What about you, Nick?
I gave her a 2.5.
2.
Wow.
Damn. Well, I feel like our point system is a little off, but I rated her up in like the higher part of the pack because she's a gamer, and I feel like she might not have that many close connections, but I don't know if she's someone that people want to take out necessarily yet. And I feel like,
is she not like growing her target though? Because I think that was the one thing going for her is that she was not being seen as a target, but now she's trying to fight so hard to get Hannah out, and people.
Who else? Well, I mean, I know the Kings know that she's fighting hard, but does everyone else know?
The Queens
I guess
also
so.
know now.
The Queens also know? Then I guess that is kind of troubling for her. But to me, I feel like she's a good player in a sense of she can fight for herself, and also she doesn't have a huge alliance, so that it's not like she's someone that people need to take out first. Even if people know that she's fighting hard to get Hannah out, it doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, she's this huge target that we need to get out ASAP. I just feel like she's someone that you can slip by into the jury, and then she just like sneaks up on you.
I just feel like there's no reason for her to make such a big deal about Hannah, even if it is
I agree.
Sarah Beth's game for her to go. At this point, it's like Hannah, I think, has more of a backing than Sarah Beth does. So
yeah,
I mean, there's more of a chance of Hannah or one of her, alliance members winning HOH next week and then going after Sarah Beth because she was so vocal about going after Hannah.
I'm not sure why she is this vocal. I think my rating came from before all of this like crazy mess, because I feel like she never played this way. So I am very curious as to why she flips like this. That could be worrying, but I guess we'll see how this week shakes up, because if Hannah does go home, then I still think Sarah Beth's okay. I don't think she's someone that everyone's going to be like, okay, let's get you out now. It's like she might have a hit with this target. Like she might hit her target this time. So we shall see.
I guess last thing, my other problem with Sarah Beth is, I guess she's can like sink into the background maybe to get far, but I just feel like she wants to do a lot in the game, but she has no numbers. So how can you do anything? So I just don't understand her game. It makes no sense to me. She can't try and be a floater, but then also try and make moves just all over the place, in my opinion.
What I think is smart about her gameplay at the moment is that she kind of knows that X, Alyssa, and Christian are like a trio, and she's not doing anything extra to like be a part of that 4. She people always see her as the one like alone from that King side, like it's a team, but then there's 3 in 1. So it's like, even if people are like, we need to take a shot at the Kings or just in that alliance, she wouldn't be the top of that list. So I just feel like she never really put herself, except for I guess this past 2 days where she's like targeting Hannah, but before that she really was completely under the radar in that sense.
We'll move on. Number 7 is Claire with a 4.8. I think I already said this, but she's up 3 spots. I'm 0.2. I mean, she won the wild card and she's safe till jury.
That's crazy. I mean, how many votes till jury? I mean, how many people till jury?
Only 2.
Oh, 2? Okay, that's
Wait,
not that bad.
oh, I definitely missed that. I have her very low, but I've had her pretty low this whole time. And honestly, I'd probably put her similar. I need to lower Sarah Beth and I need to bring Claire up a little bit, I think is where I'm at.
Yeah, I have Claire higher than Sarah.
I have Claire higher as well. I don't know. I mean, I think Claire plays a similar game, except she actually isn't making moves and she actually isn't trying to target someone like explicitly. And I feel like now that she is, well, this whole advantage that like she has right now, I don't know if it's a
Wait,
good
can
thing
you
for her.
I don't know what it is. Can you tell me?
I mean, I don't really know either, but she's just safe the next 2 rounds from what I gather. But I don't know what's the negative thing. I've heard rumors that she can't vote. I've heard rumors she can't play in the next HOH, so I don't know. Because you know what, every wild
But
card.
I mean, if you don't play in the HOH, that's perfectly fine. You're still safe to jury, right? Like,
But if you
I
can't
feel like
vote,
that's her saying yes to that is a little bit like, I don't know. I personally, if I was her, I wouldn't, because
yeah, she didn't need
I don't
it.
think she's in danger. She's not in danger.
Yeah, but
Even
why
if
not take the guaranteed safety for 2 weeks? You never know.
because
I
you
feel
never
like
know.
that adds
You
a
never
target
know.
to you.
But then
Okay.
like Netta from Canada 5, like she's gone at jury because she's so powerful.
I mean, that was a lot more extreme, though. She was fucking safe for like the first 5 weeks.
Why was she safe for that long? Okay, that's besides the point. But Claire, yeah, I don't know. I don't think we'll have to see the episode, but I'm not sure why she said yes to that, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't fully understand what the downside of her taking it is either yet.
Oh, it's not completely like sure, you're not clear. It's not the
No, I've heard people say that you either can't vote or maybe she can't play in HOH, but I didn't see anything on the feeds that were concrete.
Yeah, nothing to say about Claire. I think that she's very aware of where she's at least, and that's a good thing. She knows exactly where she's kind of at in the group. She has really good reads. I just think that she has potential. It's just that at the moment, I don't know if she has the resume or if she has the army that she needs to like get to the end safely. But at least she knows what she's doing. Like at least she knows where she's at. She knows her place. I don't know if that's like the best thing, but it's better than not knowing, like Brent or Frenchie.
Yeah, the reason I have her higher than Sarah is because I just feel like at least she has some grasp on some sort of bigger picture, but I just don't feel like she does anything about it, though.
Yeah.
I think that's why I've had her so low.
Yeah.
Like, here's still one connection is Tiffany. Yeah.
No, she has Derek X.
Does she?
Really.
Does she have him more than other people?
Everybody. He's friends with everybody. I don't know.
Well, next, number 6 is Hannah with a 5.2, down 1 spot, down 0.9. Could go home this week, though, but
yeah,
has a lot of people that has her back, apparently.
I don't really necessarily see a path for her to actually get to the end and win it. So that's why I put her low, even if she survives.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, yeah. Well, I guess I see it more as I don't think she'll get there, but maybe if she gets there, she will get some votes. But I don't know. I don't really see it. I don't think she's done anything.
I think she's playing pretty well so far. I think she's having the right conversations, and now that she's learned what the cookout is, maybe she'll fare a little bit better.
She finally knows what the name is. No, I really don't. I think she's very like she doesn't know her position in the house. She is very like confident about it, and then like I don't know. I just don't think she's playing properly and adjusting to the game. I think she has a great knowledge about it, but I don't know if she's adapting to the house dynamics. She didn't even know what her alliance was called. Like she's clearly in the bottom of anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think her social game's lacking, but I think I wouldn't say she's not good at adapting.
She's okay socially. I don't know. There's a few things, right? There's one that she's like constantly saying how good she is at memory. There's things like she's constantly like thinking that she's safe in situations.
She puts targets on her back, definitely.
She does. She like puts it like she clearly just puts it on herself, and no one was really looking at her until then, you know. But I don't know. I think Alyssa could successfully get her out, or Sarah Beth, or whoever is targeting her. Like it's not gonna end. After if Hannah survives this week, she's still a target to those people, even if she goes after them. Like, I just don't see her getting far enough.
Yeah, but like Sarah Beth would need to do something in order for that to come to fruition.
Yeah, well, I mean, like if teams end next week and Sarah Beth can probably, I think she could probably win like challenges. If she wins HOH, like she's definitely
But
putting
does she
Hannah
want
up.
to?
I don't know if she wants to, but she's made her target clear now. So if Hannah doesn't go home, maybe she wants to. We don't know. The fact that people do want Hannah gone and like the cookout puts her all the way to the bottom, besides like maybe X and Tiffany. Well, I guess that's pretty good. But like to me, I just don't see a way for Hannah to win. I would love to be proved wrong though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I think she could win. I think she just has to get from this point to like final 7. That's the hard part for her. But if she could get to final 7, and if Derek X is still in the game, then I think she has a pretty good shot.
That's true. I mean, if she gets to final 7 with the cookout and Derek X, I still think that
I think even if it's just like a few members of the cookout and Derek X, I think she has a good shot. Even if Alyssa's there or something.
The one who wants her gone?
I feel like Alyssa's had a change of heart.
Changes. You could want somebody gone for a while and then
that's true.
Not anymore.
Things could change too. Things could also change. Who do we have below Sarah Beth? Who is below Sarah Beth?
13's Brittany, 12's Whitney, 11 Alyssa, 10 Derek F, 9 Ozza, 8 Sarah, 7 Claire.
Damn, Alyssa's low. Alyssa's too low.
She went up again. She goes a little bit up every week, but
I raised her up this week. I think Alyssa has good potential at this point.
I think she does if she wasn't stuck in a showman's and could possibly be seen as a bigger target than Christian somehow.
I think she is a bigger target. She's definitely a bigger target than Christian at this point. I don't know if Christian's doing on purpose, but he does not seem that intelligent.
I think some of it's an act.
You think so? I would love to be, because I think last week I had him pretty high. He was in a great position. I just don't know. Like recently, I'm like he's just asking people what he should do. I don't know what's going on here.
And number 5 is Christian at a 5.6. He's up 1 spot, down 0.3. But yeah, I think that's the question. Is he just downplaying himself so he's not a huge target, or is he really dumb?
If he is, he's downplaying really hard. It's a really big downplay. I feel like he's just a soldier in everyone's, chess game. He's just a pawn. I don't know if he knows that, but he definitely is. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. He doesn't have an army of his own either. Like he has no connections besides Alyssa and X and Tiffany. But I don't know.
Yeah,
he's a hard one. I really don't know.
I want to see him play a solo game. I want to see what he could have done. Too. He wouldn't have gotten involved in this showmance, but if she is like the brains behind the operation, like would he really do that great?
True.
Yeah, I don't. I guess we will have to see. We have to take one of them out and see how the other one fares. Because at this point, I don't know which, if Alyssa or Christian alone would do better. Like, what if them being a showmance is good for their games? To be honest, it might be.
I think so. I mean, I can kind of see an advantage of a showman sometimes, but not.
I think for Christian,
not when you're the only showmans.
That's the thing, though, is the only showmans. Like, it's not. We were talking about this earlier when we talked about Alyssa, Alex. I just think that previous seasons we've seen
multiple
showmances, and it's almost they're stronger because there's more of them. So they don't go after the other ones because
that makes sense.
That they don't want people to go after them, so they all kind of band together at some point. But with them being the only ones, it's like the spotlight is on them. When you're walking into a room and they're undercovers making out and like they're constantly having hour-long conversations to each other about how beautiful they are, like people are gonna,
Yeah.
I mean, they're already the target. It's just a matter of time until somebody can take a shot.
Yeah, that's true. Do we know if it's official? Is Whitney and Hannah on the block?
Yeah.
Oh shit. I low-key didn't want that because I was like, this is pretty like it was already spoken about for the whole week. Because like I wanted chaos. I wanted either Brittany or Whitney as HOH. That would have been funny.
I just wanted a Joker as HOH because they're cracked.
Because they suck.
I love
Like,
them. I don't think they suck. I don't think they suck as much as you all think they do.
wait. You don't think the Jokers suck as much as okay?
I mean, as a team, as a unit, they suck. But individually, I don't think so.
Okay. I mean, yeah, maybe. But I mean,
like I was telling Meg earlier, if Ozza survives this week, because I feel like she could go up against Hannah, and then the cookout has to decide. But if Ozza survives this week, I genuinely think she's in one of the best spots of the house in terms of she's not going away anytime soon because she's in the middle of everything.
But will she win though? Will she win? That's the thing.
That's the hard part. But I mean, I still think she can. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities.
That's true.
I think it's unlikely, but
any three of them will win.
I think Derek F has an actual decent shot of winning the game.
Of winning?
Yes.
Okay. Really Derek F has a decent shot of winning.
I don't know what. I think we're watching different shows. Like, say all the people from this whole like Royal Flush and the Kings and Queens, like you know how they were playing so much these past few weeks. If they all make a jury and Derek F is at the end sitting next to one of them, I don't know if they would vote for him over anyone who played so much harder in the beginning of it. And it seems like they're all
we've had a bitter jury on the show for at least like 7 out of the last 8 seasons, so it's very possible.
Oh, really?
It depends what happens the rest of the season.
Jesus. Okay. All right. Also, I just want Derek F to keep being in the game so I can hear him like change how he says, I sadly to vote this person. It hasn't been right, and I think he's doing it on purpose. Like he's trying
to he has some speech enunciations that he fucks up all the time.
You think really?
Yeah.
The fact that he did it he never says vote correctly.
I think he just gets nervous when he's supposed to know what he has to say and then he says it wrong.
Isn't he a Frazier? Like, come on now. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I don't see any of the Jokers winning this game at all. Not that it's not even just a team doing bad. It's just like individually, they are the outliers.
Which is a bad thing in this game because everybody's connected to everybody, and eventually they need somebody to be used to take.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't know.
I don't think it's out of.
These big alliances are going to eventually fall.
I think they already are. Thankfully.
They're going to start.
Oh, they're definitely falling apart.
They're going to split up, and Ozza and Derek F, they're in the cookout, but if they can stay out of this like Royal Flush thing as well, which the other members of the cookout are involved in, maybe the bullet flies past them.
I will say the cookout is only succeeding because of Ozza and Derek F being like all the way on the other side. I feel like if all the cookout members were together in the Royal Flush, it's very clear the hierarchy of that, So the fact that they're so like not playing the same game, it really helps mask the cookout as a whole, which they're gonna make. I think they're gonna make it the jury, to be quite honest.
I'll say it's a long shot that any of the Jokers win, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities, especially if Ozza survives this week.
Yeah.
I just feel like, I don't know. We'll see. But if the cookout stays strong, then they have even more of a shot.
Who are we on? Christian right now? Are we on Christian?
We have nothing to say because we don't know who to talk about.
Yeah, Christian is still a question mark. Okay, that's really what the gist of that was. He's a question mark.
You guys have anything else to say about Christian?
Stop making Alyssa on Xavier's bed. Stop making out.
At least it's his bed now.
Well, it's his bed now. Oh no, we're gonna have like sex scenes and shit, and like intercourse in the shower and stuff.
Ew,
I hope that doesn't happen.
Intercourse.
That's what people say on Twitter. Like, oh, they're gonna have intercourse on Twitter. That's what I hear. So, it's just not appealing to me.
Well, Days likes to call him a cult leader, and I think he really sucks as a cult leader.
Christian's a cult leader?
That's what Dave said a couple episodes ago. I don't know.
He's just mesmerized by his eyes.
Yeah.
He's lost in his eyes.
The Waco guy. I can't think of his name.
Well, number 4 is...
Sorry, go on.
Tiffany with a 6.4. She's
Oh, she
down
went
one
down.
spot. She's down 0.2. Not down enough for me.
Listen, Nick has a hate train on Tiffany for no freaking reason.
Bro, you cannot say that creating an alliance every day is a good strategy. That's just stupid.
Listen, she hasn't been caught yet. And she's on people's radar.
She's been caught by fucking Whitney of all people, who's lost with everybody else.
She is on people's radar, but I don't know. I think that she made all these alliances, but at least she's doing well with them. She hasn't had a chance to betray them yet. The fact that like if she gets to jury and all those alliances are still intact, like she's good to go.
Tiffany can only win if she never wins an HOH and still makes the end.
Yeah. Which is possible.
Possible for her to do that.
Which is
I'm not saying it's impossible, but that is a hard fucking game.
If she doesn't win HOH, then no one's gonna be like, I want her out. Like they might want her out, but she's not as big of a threat if she never wins anything. Like she'll be okay. I mean, she already won a wild card,
but do you guys really think she can make it to the end with the cookout and Kylan, Xavier, and Derek F not take a shot at her?
I think in that scenario, no, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think one of Kylan or X and Derek F will be gone by the time they're trying to get her. There's no way, but I don't personally think that Derek F, Xavier, and Kylan are still there while Tiffany is still there and they're trying to get Tiffany out. I just think that before that happens, one of the guys will be gone before Tiffany becomes a target. Or maybe not. I mean, this house is messy, but I'm just saying like right now where everyone's heads at, I don't see Tiffany as anyone's number one target. Is she anyone's number one target besides Whitney, maybe?
I mean, I wouldn't say she's the number one target.
Yeah, so
she's a future target for a lot of people already.
Yeah, but that future always like prolongs itself, or they get out themselves.
Not always.
You know? But that's just how like
really weird this season. I feel like every other season there's very like clear targets of like that they're out of like house targets. And I don't feel like the alliances are on the same page as to who is the target for the alliance. Everybody has their individual ones, but it's just so weird.
Yeah. What's tricky is we haven't gotten Derek X yet. Is he that far up?
A little too high for me, but yeah.
I also agree it's a little too high, only because where he fit himself in these alliances, like especially this week. We'll get to him when it gets there. But for Tiffany, I think she's fine where she is at number 4. I think she's still playing leagues ahead of some other players. Obviously it'll catch up to her, but we don't know when. It could be a long time until that happens, or it could be next week.
Yeah, that's her game, though. It's very dangerous that it could be
She's soon. Playing hard to win it. She wants to win
a little too hard. Can you admit she's playing a little too hard?
She's playing hard.
Too hard.
She's playing too hard. We haven't seen it crack yet. It's not too hard yet. It's only too hard when it messes up, like when it implodes.
Any other thoughts on Tiffany?
Who is her number 1? Is it Kai? Is it Claire? Is it Derek X? Is it the cookout? Like
she doesn't know because she switches her plan every day because she
every day. Yeah,
every day.
That is something that
which is another thing that's not great.
But I mean, okay, listen, but she don't have to target any of these people yet, so she can't. She has a lot of time to choose.
I think she has maybe a week or less. She might just have this week to choose, honestly.
I think she has a good chance of being the first jury vote out if it's not Claire. I have a feeling it's one of the queens. It could be Kylan, it could be Claire, it could be Tiff. If it's a double elimination, one of them is going. That's just my bold prediction.
I mean, I do think at a double, that's when those 3 are going to be.
We'll bookmark it. Yeah, we'll bookmark that.
Number 3 is Kyland with the 6.6, down 2 spots, down 0.4. I mean, Kylan's still my number 1. I feel like it's his game to lose still.
Yeah, but he's also messy. How can you not hold him the same standards to Tiff? They're playing a very similar game.
Not really. I just feel like...
I think so.
No, Tiffany has more alliances than Kylan does, even though Kylan brought her into some of those alliances, but still.
So that could be good. Like, I don't know. I mean,
I think less people are onto Kylan than they are Tiffany. The only person onto Kylan is Claire, who does nothing.
And well, Brittany wants to target him. I don't know if she's on to him, but she wants to target him.
Not really. She goes back and forth.
Really?
She wants Alyssa out so she could have Christian.
Okay. All right.
That was her plan this week if she was HOH.
Brittany.
What was Kylan's score rating?
A 6.6.
Okay.
These scores are low. I guess not really, but for Kylan, I think that he has a really good chance of winning as well. I want a civil war between him and Tiffany, like ASAP. I would love that to happen because they have overlapping alliance members and they also like they're working with each other. It would just be great in a jury phase. But I think Kylan is more capable. I would put. Did I put Kylan above Tiffany? No. I put him down. I put him down a little bit. I think that there was something that happened this week where he's like showing his cards a little bit too. Like I think he told Sarah Beth about wanting a girl out or something. Like he told he told a girl that he wanted a girl out, and I was like, that made no sense. Like that, or is that Brent? I don't know who that was.
Really understand that? Like what?
Why do you say that to a girl? Or like,
why do we need to say? I just don't understand.
Why do we even have that thought? No, I agree.
Boy out this week. We need to get a girl out this week. It should be like.
I mean, I feel like the guys are like that because it's been a guy, so they're like paranoid.
The 3 white guys who are like.
It's not like battle of the gender over here. Like, they're playing on teams. I guess like you can't really go after the Kings right now because they're in power, but like.
They're the bulk of the big guys. Like it's Christian.
I mean, Frenchie and Brent were the one that started that shit because Frenchie was like, a girl doesn't want to go. He doesn't want a girl to go home first. And then after that, Brent was like, we got to keep
it. Girl.
It was actually Brent and Derek Frazier who were like, we got to keep it even, guys, girls. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, Derek was really into that.
I just feel like this comes up in every season, but
it does, right?
To me, it doesn't make sense to me. Even though I'm like notorious for
wanting girls out.
Guys, but I'm not going to go into it and be like, I'm going to get a girl out. Like, doesn't matter which one. That's dumb.
No, I agree. We're on Kylan, right? The thing is, I actually do see someone in the middle right now of our ranking, either middle or even in the bottom, to win this. I actually don't see people who are right now on the top winning this because I just think it's going to implode somehow. Like something's going to happen where all of these big players, really good players, fall. They're playing so hard so early. You said what?
I said a Joker's going to win this season.
No, I don't think it's a Joker. Joker.
Or Hannah. That's why I think Hannah has a good shot at winning this game because if she keeps surviving to the final 7, she could definitely win this game.
Sure, yeah, maybe. No, I can see that. If she survives this week, like if she makes it past this week.
Yeah.
I don't know where her head's at, but she hasn't gone for an HOH or a win of any kind. So she needs to go for this veto. Like I don't understand what's going on here. But back to Kylan, like
I mean I think she's safe. It stays the same too.
Oh really? Okay.
It's the cookout.
But it exposes the cookout though, right?
Which I think is fine. But
this is gonna be interesting.
What the fuck? What are they gonna do? Start a race war? I don't see the white players in this game trying to start a race war. Sorry, don't see that.
That would be crazy. I don't know.
Claire and Brittany ain't going for that.
Neither is
Any
Christian.
other thoughts on Kylan though?
No, I think that he has a great potential to win and also have a great potential to ruin his game by saying one wrong thing or
He talks a lot. But I just still feel like he is still the person with the most control on the game right now. I'm not saying he's going to keep it, but I feel like at this point he should be number 1 because he has the most control in the game.
No. For sure, yeah.
Number 2, Derek X, 6.8.
Yeah, it's a little high.
It's the same in second. I think it's a little high too, but
I mean, granted, I gave him a 7, so maybe not. Like, maybe I'm just being a hypocrite.
if I wouldn't have lowered him, he would have been number 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but he went down for me this week.
I do think he went down this week, but it's really fun to watch him climb and figure out himself and how to play this game. Whether maybe he was lying about not knowing the game, but it seems like he has a pretty good grasp on it now.
Kinda.
It's just my problem with him right now is that he's not aware of the cookout. He's not aware of certain things entirely. And he's looking too much into how to survive into next week versus how to get people like that won't take him to the end. Like right now, he's on the bottom of everything. They're gonna want to take him further, but right now, the way he's playing, I don't see him getting past like top 8, top 7. It's just hard to do because he is also a comp threat.
He's making faces.
Derek X is my number 1.
I love that. I love the man. I would love him from the wing.
I have him at an 8.5. I think he's playing a great game. I don't think it matters at this point that he doesn't know about the cookout because I think he's in good positions across the board pretty much.
They all want him. Ozza, Kylan, Tiff, they all want him. Yeah.
And we've seen that he can handle himself in a competition. So I think he can kind of rein that back until he needs to be good at competitions again.
Yeah.
I think he can do pretty well because I think that he's in a good enough position where he can keep himself safe and also kind of let these alliances take shots at each other. I mean,
he better start. Yeah.
We have 6 people in the cookout and they already all don't really get along. So let it kind of fall apart. He doesn't need to know about it right now.
Yeah. I get it.
On his radar.
I just think it's dangerous because like half the house could easily put him up as like a renom.
They're not going to.
I think some would at this point, and I feel like he is a big enough comp threat that like it would be a good shot to take at him. You know, he's not anyone's number 1 except for maybe Hannah.
I think he could find himself in a situation where he gets backdoored, but I don't think anybody is putting him up as an original nomination.
But that's the scary part. He can't compete if he is getting backdoored. I see that happening.
And we've seen him win veto.
That's true.
It.
I also will say he has the best story. He has the best underdog sort of story. Like if he gets to the final 2, like he literally will win. Like against anybody, honestly. Even Kylan, because I feel like Kylan, to get to the end, he would have to betray people that he has promised to, right? Whereas Derek X has just been very social and very like genuine and in good graces, you know. So I do see that Derek X, if he gets to the final 2, he beats anybody. But
I think that only happens if all 6 cookout members don't make the final. That only happens if the cookouts in the jury.
If the top 7 has Derek X, he is not going at number 7. I'm saying if the entire cookout's in the jury and he's next to a cookout member, he ain't winning the game. Oh, okay, yeah, no, probably. Unless someone like Kylan betrays Tiffany like flat out really badly. Same with X, and like I don't know. It's possible.
I mean, that's what people need to start thinking about, though. Like maybe it would be better if Derek X knew about the cookout now. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Before jury, I mean, he
needs to get them out.
See, this is the hard spot I see him in. He needs a cookout member to go, but he needs it to not be Hannah and Ozza. And right now, those are probably the 2 likely scenarios if one of them's going.
And if he's the one who takes a shot, he becomes the ultimate target. Like he's not in a great position to take people out that he needs to. That's why I also like.
Yeah, and I don't think he would.
That's the thing. He needs to do like big moves, but then without being the one that's behind it. And there's no one that's taking those shots or is aware or will do it because they're either in the cookout or they're working closely with one. It's just like the cookout has done a really good job at being invisible. Invisible HOH. But like they've done a great job at hiding, and it's gonna be hard to take them out. The only thing that could happen is them going after each other, which could happen when Derek X is in the top 8, top 7 area. Like that could totally happen. But then if he gets to the final 2 with a cookout, Nick is right. It's hard to vote for him to win.
I mean, but it still depends on how it all plays out, because if they all do make jury, it really depends on what happens. If they do each other dirty and then they get
really bad.
Yeah, I mean, they might not. It depends on who it is, but somebody might not give the other one a vote.
His best case is like 1 or 2 cookout members get out before jury, which is really hard to do at this point.
They have to go this week and next.
Yeah.
And it has to not be Hannah or Azza.
And it can't be Hannah or Azza because those two would probably vote for him more likely anyway. Like those two would help him win the game. Like that's the thing. Like I don't know if he's in a tricky position. He is really good socially and he's really good playing the game right now. But he's playing the game to not win. He's playing the game to survive right now. It's not really a game to be like, oh, he's gonna win this at the moment.
I will say I feel like he has the best shot out of any non-cookout member to win the game at this point for sure.
Yes.
But it's yeah.
A cookout. 6 of the jury, like if they're all in the jury, or if 5 of them are in the jury, like is that half the votes? How many votes is that?
None of them are in final 2.
That would be great. I don't know if that could happen though. If all the cookout makes the jury, you think that none of them will make it to the final 2? That would be a big implosion.
I'm not saying I think that'll happen, but I'm saying it's a scenario in which he would win.
Then he would win, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, number 1 is Xavier with a 6.9, barely up 3 spots, up 0.7.
It's temporary.
How is he number 1?
Temporary.
I just feel like he
is my number 1.
He wasn't my number 1. He was my number 2 because I still think it's Kylan's game to lose. But I just feel like Xavier has the right connections right now. And he put in such work over the past 24 hours to take the target off of Hannah and onto Whitney that I just feel like he's obviously good at persuading people.
He's magical, dude. He's magical. And also he mimics his HOH to be like Kylan. So I feel like that HOH wasn't even his entirely. It was either a King's HOH or it was Kylan's sort of like rule, you know? So X has done a really great job at never painting a target on his back that well. So I also put him number 1 at the moment. I think that he's a threat in everyone's eyes though, no matter what. It's just how he presents himself, how well he is spoken, and also he's huge. Like he's a really jacked up guy. So it's possible that he goes out really quickly. So that's why I'm saying it's temporary, because he's playing probably the best game for me, but I don't know if he can win it again. But we'll see what happens. This season has been really fun. Every episode has been every week has been crazy and different.
I do think this is a good season overall. Better than what we've seen the past couple of years.
Yeah, for sure. Why do you have Xavier not high? Man?
Yeah, what do you have him at?
I mean, I gave him a 6.
Okay.
I mean, I think that he's playing well, and I think he has good connections with people, but I haven't been watching a lot of the feeds, so I don't know what he's done the past 24 hours to save Hannah. So I'm interested to catch up on that. But I just feel like his HOH was kind of a waste. I think anybody that would have been HOH probably could have done the same thing and getting Brent out and not had it been kind of as messy.
But I think that's good, though.
That's a good thing, yeah.
He didn't get really any blood on his hands in that HOH.
No, I mean that's true, but like he didn't really need to be HOH. Like he didn't really need to get.
He didn't try. He didn't want to get it. He got it by accident.
I know because they threw it, but
they all threw it.
I felt like him trying so hard to convince Brent that he wasn't the target, and I think he did too much with something he didn't really need to. He could have just been like, look, dude.
I mean, it worked though because Brent's so fucking egotistical.
Right, but I mean, he doesn't have to like save face with Brent. He's not going to the jury, you know? And like, why not? I don't know. I just feel like the whole thing was too much. It was more than what it needed to be for what happened.
I think the episode probably made it seem like X did a lot to do that and to like make sure Brent doesn't know or whatever. But I feel like what he did help the house, because like the house all wanted him gone. So what he did was actually keep the house really calm. So I don't think people were like, oh, X is scary for being able to do that.
Calm because it ended up with, I mean, it was more about the pawn because it was, you know, Brittany was so upset. She's hysterically.
I hate how Brittany plays.
The whole wild card competition and them teaming up. I mean, and then Azza's upset about it. And
But it wasn't X's fault.
You have to put Brittany up.
Well, who would he have put up? He's working with every single person, but Whitney works with him. So it's like, I mean, so does Brittany kind of, but he had no options. He really had no options.
I don't know. I just feel
Um,
like, did he really do something that? I mean, it's not like he made any big moves or anything. I don't see him doing anything like extraordinary.
I
Like
didn't
you
rate him
said,
high because of that,
like he basically like duplicated Kylan's HOH. Like it was
which is
more like
great to
it's
me.
great, but I just don't think that it's like this huge extraordinary move.
I
Well,
mean, yeah, it's safe, but I think that works.
I didn't rate him high because of his big moves. He hasn't made any big moves, but he's positioned himself at a point where when he does make big moves, it's gonna be too late to get him out or try to get him out. Like
Yeah,
he's
I mean,
not. Yeah.
I don't really
Yeah.
like the way that he socializes. Like I feel like if I was in there and he was talking to me, I would be like, "You're so full of shit, bro."
Really
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like he's pretty good at that.
I think was a little pushy,
Really?
pushing the agenda to like to not make Hannah the target over Whitney, but it worked. So I mean,
That
but
actually
it's also because
worked though,
Christian.
because SB and Alyssa really wanted Hannah gone.
Well, it worked on everybody except Sarah Beth, but I mean, Sarah Beth can have no say when
No
nobody's
one's
backing her
listening.
up.
Damn. That's not good for the Kings in general, like the four of them. I can't believe they're
I
all
think
still here.
it also works because Christian. I mean, it is best for Christian to keep Hannah because he has some sort of relationship with Hannah compared to Whitney. But I don't know. I just feel like Xavier did do a good job of. Xavier's very good at putting out fires.
My thing is, there's some people in the house where like they have no connections with like a lot of people, and I'm like, how is that possible? You spend 24/7 with these people, and there's no sense of relationship at all. Like Christian and Whitney never talk. Like it's kind of crazy to me. Like,
Well, they're alone together so much.
oh well, yeah. Okay, bad example with Christian, but I'm saying like anyone aside from Christian and Alyssa, how do you not have relationships like at all? Like you don't know one thing about the other person, like that you can maybe bond with. That's crazy.
If you don't feel initial connection and it's not your type of person, then you find yourself dominating your time with people that you get along with and not reaching out. I mean, I can see how we're this far and people don't have a good connection. I mean, it's a lot of people in one house. You're not going to have a good bond with everybody.
I would play like Derek X though, because I feel like he has at least made a connection with every single person. I don't know one person that he's not like that he doesn't talk to, right? He talks to everybody, and it's not like a threat yet. Like no one really wants to be like, oh, he's playing hard. Like he's just.
I mean, if Sarah Beth gets her way, it's gonna be Derek X and Hannah on the block together.
Jesus. That would just instantly put Sarah Beth out. That would instantly get her out like the next week. I don't know why she's targeting Hannah this early on. No one wants it. Except for Alyssa, I guess. But like, don't you like feel the vibes, like what people want? Like it's not your HOH. Don't push so hard. That is troubling. That is troubling. I rooted for her up until these past 2 days. I'm like, what are you doing? You're completely flipping on these people. And they will notice how much she flipped, like her emotions. Like she's usually chill, and all of a sudden she's like, no, she has to go. This is why, this, and that. Like that's scary. To me, that's completely scary. I'm like, you're psychotic. You gotta go. Like if you hate me, like that would be insane. Like you would get me out, or you would try to.
Well, any final thoughts?
I hope that this week isn't calm, because I feel like it's been crazy with like scheming, but we always had house targets. And so like we're always planning the next week. And I kind of want it to be like this week, like being scared about this week instead of the next week. Like I
guess I'm fine with Whitney going because I don't think she brings a lot to the game.
Yeah,
I'm ready for teams to end.
Yeah, me too. I think after this week it will end.
Whitney does win veto, then it does get a little crazy. It's either Brittany's on the block being crazy, or it's Azza versus Hannah.
Oh gosh.
I don't think Whitney's gonna win the veto though.
I think it's possible. No? Depends on what the challenge is. I mean, it's gonna be her.
I mean, she was saying today, she was like, because Hannah was thinking, or she was lying to Whitney, saying maybe the plan is to backdoor Derek X. And then Whitney was like, oh, I don't want that. I'd rather just go home to my children. So I don't know if she's going to try the hardest.
Wait, really?
He might be another one of Tara or whatever who's like, if I'm going to go, I want to go pre-jury.
Yeah, true.
That spawned the best fight I've ever seen in my life. Victoria versus Tara. She just threw her glasses down. Yo, I want something like that to happen though. I want some blow ups. I want people
We'll get
freaking out.
there. I still feel like we're getting there.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I shall end it there.
All right.